Cohen. I am the Associate Director of Career Development here at University of West Georgia. So today I'm going to talk to you guys a little bit about career services and what we can do for you guys when you're students with West Georgia. So what is career services? I know a lot of students have never heard of career services or don't really know exactly what we do. So at West Georgia, our career services department actually hosts our student employment, career development, and employer relations. So student employment is exactly what you would think. Student employment is housed out of career services, so we oversee the 17 to 1,800 student employment positions on campus. And we also have some off-campus positions available as well that we work with a few different companies and organizations. Career development is our department that works with students the most. So we'll see you guys at programming, we do classroom presentations, and then we also do counseling appointments. So if you guys ever need help deciding on your major or what career you want to do, look at jobs, get your resume reviewed, practice a mock interview, look at internship possibilities. That's what career development does. And then finally, our employee relations team is kind of what you would think. They help build relationships with the employers in our areas and across the state and across the US. So that way, when you guys are ready to go out into the workforce, you guys have connections to employers that are hiring. So if you've ever had the thought of you're not sure what you want to do with your life, if you're not sure what major to pick, or maybe you've picked a major and you start taking some classes and decide this isn't really what you want to do, or it's not quite for you, or if you want to change your major, these are things that we can help you with. A quick poll. What percentage of students do you think change majors before they graduate? And you guys should see the little poll screen. I'll give you guys a chance to answer. Oh, Dylan, it says the panelists can't vote. There we go. All right, so we got, pretty equal in the 75 to 80% and the 55 to 60%. I see that. Awesome. All right, so about half of you are almost correct. The correct answer is the 75 to 80%. And this could be one change in major, two changes, sometimes three changes before students decide on what they want to do. So if you come in and you're not sure about your major or you decide to change it, don't worry, you're not alone. So how can we help with that? My team in career development helps again with that career major exploration piece. So we'll talk a little bit about what that looks like coming up. We'll help you get experience. So you might already know if you guys have ever started looking at jobs already or have worked a job before, a lot of them will say something about wanting a year of experience or 2 years experience. So how do you guys get that when you're still in school? Through internships and externships. So we help you guys set up some of those possibilities and opportunities so you guys can get experience while you're in school. So when you graduate, you've got the degree and the experience to go out and get that dream job of yours. Decision making. We will help you walk through the process of making a decision about what career you want, what major is the best one for you. Do you want to go to grad school? And what grad school, what program, what's the best fit for you? So we help you with all of those decisions as well. And then finally, the transition action steps. That's where the resume review comes in, the mock interview, learning how to properly job hunt and how to apply to positions as well. We will help walk you through all of those steps. So the career and major exploration piece. We start with a Focus 2 assessment. And as you can see, there's 5 different assessments in this piece. I will tell you, it literally takes you maybe 15, 20 minutes to complete all 5 assessments. And what these do is kind of help figure out what your values, your interests, what your personality's like, and what skills you have and how they fit to potential jobs. So basically, you'll take all 5 assessments. You can either look at your results based assessment, or you can combine results. And that could be picking out your work interests with your personality assessment, or it could be all five. It's up to you. And then what it'll do is give you a list of potential jobs that match to your assessments. And it'll tell you a little bit about the job. It'll tell you what degrees are needed for it, what the best majors are for it, employment history, or job outlook for it. So are there going to be a lot of jobs available coming up, or is it on the decline? So meaning that there's really not going to be a lot of jobs available when you graduate, which means it'll be harder to get a job. So we can help you figure those things out using this Focus 2 assessment. And I'll also tell you things like what a day-to-day, what the day-to-day experience in that role is like. And it'll also give you a salary range as well. So that way you know kind of what you're looking at salary-wise. So from there, we kind of look at that and look through the majors of positions that you're potentially interested in, and hopefully can pick out a major that is listed in a few of those that will give you some options when you graduate. So from there, once we kind of figure out a major for you, our job is to help you guys get that internship or externship experience to kind of help you guys figure out and narrow down what it is you want to do or what you like or don't like in a job. So things to think about or remind yourself of is that dream job is not a straight shot. It could potentially change. I'll tell you my dream job when I went into college, I wanted to go to Harvard Law School. I was going to be the next Elle Woods from Legally Blonde. And I actually was a minor in law at Berry College where I went to school, and learned that I kind of hated law classes. They were not for me. So I had to change my plan probably towards my junior, senior year. I wasn't sure what I was going to do. So I ended up going to grad school for marriage and family therapy, which is completely different than going to law school, and then ended up working in higher ed of all things after doing counseling. So remember, it's not a straight shot. It can change what you want to do. Today, average person changes positions 10 to 15 times in their career. So don't think you've got to figure it all out your first year. You've got some time. So other things that we offer to kind of help you with major and career exploration are, what can I do with this major? So just like you would think, it has a list of all the different majors across campus, and actually some other schools as well. So different majors, you can click on it and it'll give you a list of potential jobs that people with that major go into. And then you can kind of explore those positions from there. We also have BuzzFile, which breaks down a lot of different employers and companies. So you can explore majors and potential careers by the company. It's a lot to sort through, but we can kind of help you with that process. And if you have sort of an idea of the area or field you want to go into, you can narrow it down and search from there. And then finally, we also have Vault, which offers basically the same things. It'll help you break down potential employers, potential jobs. You can actually job hunt through Vault as well, and look at potential job openings and positions and see what you might like and what kind of fits you. It's also a great tool to figure out what abilities and skills you might need for jobs that you're interested in. So again, this is the time for you to start building those skills, building that experience that you need. So when you go out into the workforce, you're set. So if you want to work on campus or need a job while you're in school, I worked 3 jobs while I was in school, so I completely understand that. We have on-campus employment and off-campus employment opportunities. So for on-campus, if you guys start looking at those potential jobs, they're actually listed on our HR website, on West Georgia's website. And usually they'll say something about a student assistant or student worker in the title, so you know they're for you. We have about 1,800 to 2,000 positions open usually on campus, with about 1,700 students working. So there are definitely always jobs available if you do want to work on campus. And they are kind of all over the place. So if you want to work in sports, you can work with sports teams, or you can work in UWG, which is our campus center and our workout facilities. If you want to work in a potential office, there are several offices across campus that hire student workers. And if you also want to work with a faculty member or work in one of the college departments, there's positions there as well. And then of course, one of our biggest hires is Dine West or Housing and Res Life. So if you want to work with other students, or if you want to work in the dining services, you can do those as well. For off-campus employment, we utilize a service called WolfWorks. It is a platform just for our students. And we actually, our employee relations team works with employers, as I mentioned before, and they actually post positions to us specific for West Georgia students. So we usually have over 300 jobs in there, full-time, part-time, and internships. And we get update those every Monday usually. So there's positions available across all majors in there for you guys to look at. And again, they're looking specifically at West Georgia students a lot of times, which means that you guys have a better opportunity and chance of getting a job with them. So a little bit more about the on-campus employment and federal work study. So federal work study opportunities are listed in the HR website as well. They'll say federal work study or FWS in the job title. If you qualify for federal work study, you can apply to these jobs. So basically what federal work study is, and we'll get a little bit more into it, it's part of your FAFSA form. There's a little box you check to see if you qualify for federal work study. Our financial aid department looks at it and decides if you get awarded federal work study dollars. So basically you can work in a federal work study position or a regular student assistant position on campus, depending on what you qualify for. So any of our student positions, federal work study and regular, qualify you to work up to 20 hours in a week. That doesn't necessarily mean that you have to work 20 hours in a week. You can do however many hours fit into your schedule. And then if we have a break, so spring break, fall break, sometimes over the summer, you could potentially work up to 40 hours as long as there's work for you to do and the department you're working in has a budget for you to pay you for 40 hours in a week. Students have to be enrolled in 6 credit hours. So basically, if you decide to come to West Georgia, during orientation, you will get your class schedule. So as soon as you have that class schedule, and make sure that you're in at least 2 classes, basically it's what 6 credit hours breaks down to, you can start applying to jobs on the HR website. You can also check to see if you have federal work study through your BandWeb financial aid account. So you guys can see that there and see if you've been awarded that money to work in those positions. Also, if you are federal work study, you can have the opportunity to work in other positions. However, if you don't have federal work study dollars, you can't work in federal work study positions. And I will say also, if you want, you can work up to 2 jobs on campus in a week, as long as you're not going over the 20 hours. So a little more on the federal work study piece. The federal work study program is federally funded for college students for part-time work. And it is needs-based financial aid, which is why it comes with that FAFSA form. So again, there's a little box where you have to check and say that you are interested in looking at your federal work study eligibility. As long as you check that box, our financial aid department will check that for you and award it. Again, you can look at it in your BandWeb account and it'll be indicated as offered. One thing to note though, is you will get an amount there. You don't get that amount unless you are working on campus. So basically the amount listed there is going to pay your salary for the semester. So you have to be working hours to earn that money. It's not just given to you. And here we are with our WolfWorks account that I mentioned earlier. So when you guys log in, you guys use it from your, or use your same login for your email address and one login stuff. Use that same email and password here. Your account's automatically created. You guys are all automatically put in from our banner system. So you'll automatically have a profile in here when you log in. It's almost like a LinkedIn account. So you guys can go in, add a picture, add a background if you want. You can set your preferences. So it'll show you jobs that are in your major or in your interest field. So those will come up. As you can see, along the left-hand side, There's a job search feature, and that's where you guys can go in and search for internships, part-time, full-time jobs that are off campus. It does have jobs across the US, and I think even some national jobs or international jobs. So again, you'll kind of use the filters to figure out what it is you want and what location you want it to be in. But there's also your profile, again, that you can go make. The My Documents tab. If you have a resume and you don't have the time or you're not on campus to bring your resume into the office for a review, you guys can actually upload your resume, your cover letter, whatever else you have that you want us to look at. You can upload it there, and someone from our team will look at it and give you feedback, usually within 24 to 48 hours on it. So it saves you the time of having to come into our office to get it reviewed. It'll tell you our events. So all of the events we have going on across campus every year will be listed there. If you want to do a mock interview, and again, don't have the time to come into the campus or the ability to come into our offices on campus, you guys can do a mock interview through there. We can watch it and we can provide you feedback for it. It's also a great way to practice doing online or virtual interviews. With COVID going on, a lot more employers are doing virtual online interviews. So it's a great way to practice that. There's also a networking tool, an employer's tool. So obviously that's where our employers are looking at things. They have their own profiles, so you can connect with them through there. I'll also mention that if you do go in and set up your profile, if you guys get it to where it looks really nice and you've added your work history, have your resume uploaded, all that kind of stuff, you can actually publish your profile, and our employers can actually see it and potentially reach out to you about potential jobs that they might want you to look into or offer you a job through there. And then finally, we have a resources tab. So we'll have a documents library of articles, blog posts, any videos we recorded about anything. For example, yesterday we had an FBI agent speaking to students about working for the FBI, and we recorded that. So we'll be uploading that to our resources tab in the next few days. So things like that are all in that resources tab for all of our students. And then finally on there is our counseling and calendar section. So if you guys ever need to make an appointment with us, you can do it through here. So just some of our example programming that we do. We have wandering walk-in hours Monday through Thursday. So if you have a resume that you want reviewed really quickly, but you don't want to make a whole appointment for it, you can just bring it in anytime during those wandering walk-in hours and we'll look at it. Again, we do resume reviews, mock interviews. We can help you with your job or internship search. We also have a student externship program that happens over spring break week. So if you guys want to participate in that, you'll get information about it, and we basically try to match you up with an employer that you're interested in working with and send you there for a week to kind of do some job shadowing and get a little bit on the job training. Again, our employer relations team offers that employer connection, so they do a lot of networking events and industry nights that allow you the chance to meet with employers and get to know them one-on-one. Also, we help with grad school preparation, so anything from picking your grad school to filling out your documents. We'll look at a personal statement for you and help you make sure that you've got everything ready to put in an admissions application to a grad school. And we can also help you prepare for the interview process with that as well. Then we also have our counseling appointments, as I mentioned. If you need help figuring out your major or help figuring out what career or jobs you want to do with your major, all of those are considered counseling appointments with us. And again, we have the industry nights, career panels. We do a lot of panels by major. So we've had a law enforcement panel, a history panel. We're doing an English panel in the fall. So we've got a lot of different panels that we bring in alumni and just people or employers in the industry to talk to you about different jobs that I have available and to give you an idea of what types of jobs are out there per major, because you guys might not always know what kinds of jobs are out there that you can do with your major. And then we also have career fairs. So we do, during preview day before school starts, we do a career fair for on-campus employment. And then usually throughout the semester, we'll do a part-time career fair And then we have a really big career fair in the spring that we do in early March. And we have about, I want to say 150 or so employers that come to that one that are hiring full-time, part-time, interns, everything you think of. So you guys are welcome to come to those things to network, go ahead and look for your jobs, potentially interview with people, and get hired before you even leave. We also do resume workshops around the same time as those. So that way you guys are prepared before you go in. You got your resume, you got your elevator pitch. Make sure you guys are definitely prepared before we send you in to talk to those employers. And then also we have employer visits. So we have employers that will come on campus and do info sessions that you can meet with or go speak with while they're there on campus. And then we also will take students to potential employer locations and let you guys go do a tour of their location and facilities. So just some pictures of what we offer. In the top right-hand corner are our students from last year. They went and toured Delta. So you can kind of see the big air turbine in the background from their tour at Delta. In the middle top, we did a tailgating cookout picnic outside during homecoming week. So we have some students that stopped by and ate with us, and our student employer or student assistants, of course, were eating and hanging out with us as well. The top left corner is one of our career fairs. So you can kind of see how that's set up. Students are required to dress professionally for that and go in and meet with employers and kind of just check out everything around. And then the two lower pictures to the left and in the middle are us just kind of working at different events outside. So you can stop by, pick up some swag items from us, and we can answer any questions about career services for you that you might have. And then in our right-hand corner at the bottom is our part-time career fair. So that's our on-campus employment opportunities that we do at the beginning of the year. And they're set up with HR there and everything, so you can potentially go ahead and interview and get hired on the spot. So you can start working as soon as possible on campus. And then finally, we also have what we call Wolfie's Wardrobe. So if you need professional wear for an interview, for the career fair, if for just going and working on the job on a daily basis, say you don't have business professional clothes and can't afford them, we actually have a Wolfie's Wardrobe closet set up that we get donated items and go out and purchase some items that you guys can come and look at, and we can potentially provide them to you free of charge. You don't have to bring them back or anything, so you're allowed one outfit a semester, and you can take those and they're yours as long as we have something that fits you, which hopefully we will. And I'm excited about Wolfie's Wardrobe because we just got a brand new office space for it. So we'll actually have a full big kind of closet boutique area for you guys to come in and look at those clothes and try them on. And of course, if you want to keep up with career services, you can follow us on any of our social media accounts to know what we've got going on. And that's just kind of a little overview of our services again. So I will open it up for questions. And you guys can write those either in the chat or in the Q&A. Let's see here, we got a question. How early should I start working on my resume? I will say we start this usually as soon as you come in. So if you're wanting to work on campus, a lot of our employers on campus require a resume. So we can start helping you with your resume your freshman year. And then of course, as you go through sophomore, junior, senior year, we will add to your resume. So as you get work experience on campus through your internships or externship, job shadowing opportunities, if you serve as a research assistant for anyone, all of those experiences, study abroad, we can add all of those to your resume as you go through. But it's definitely great to go ahead and get at least kind of an outline of a document started your freshman year. And then before grad school and before you graduate, we will make sure that that document has added everything that we potentially could add to it to make sure that you have a great resume going out into the workforce. Should we start applying for jobs now? So you can. Are you thinking on-campus potential jobs, or are you thinking jobs in general off campus? If it's for on-campus positions, again, you can't start applying to them until you have your class schedule. So as soon as you get your class schedule, as long as you are registered for at least those 6 credit hours, you can start applying to positions. If you guys want to go ahead and go on the HR website and start looking at open positions, we do have some positions that are for fall that are already on there. So if you guys just want to start checking them out, you feel free to, but you can't start applying to them and they can't hire you until we know that you're enrolled in classes. If it's off campus, yes, you can start applying to any kind of off-campus job whenever you would like. Pay for on-campus jobs. Okay, so that is going to depend on what department you're working in and at what level. I will say most jobs start minimum wage, so you're probably making $7.25, $7.50 or so an hour. Some of the jobs in some certain departments or higher level positions that you can work up to will pay around the $8, $9, $10 an hour though. So let's see here. We've got a question about not working actual jobs that have extensive experience in babysitting and leadership positions in clubs in high school. Yes, you can include those on your resume. So if you don't have actual work experience yet, definitely include anything you can. So babysitting is a job. That's experience. You're gaining skills there. And any leadership roles are skills too that you can include in that. So if you want to list your student org, or if it's a community organization, you can list all of those kinds of things and put your position title or put volunteer and kind of tell us what you've done. So that can start your resume. Are freshmen limited to the types of jobs they can have? In a way. So most positions are open to freshmen. However, there are those kind of higher level positions that require that you have served at like a level 1 position before. You can go to a level 2 for instance. So in that case, freshmen are limited there just because they haven't worked up through that chain of positions yet. Are there retail services on campus available through career services, or do you have to go through the retail website itself? I'm not quite sure what you mean by retail services. Can you explain what you mean by that? And I can answer that one. And then we also have a question about career services helping with degree program choice. Again, that's where we go back to that Focus 2 assessment. We will kind of look at everything you're interested in, what you're good at, what you're not good at. We are actually partnering with our first year experience programs this year and hopefully bringing in U-Science. So some of them might, some of you might have taken U-Science in middle school or high school, but we're bringing that in hopefully for all of our first year experience students to take. So in your first year experience or XIDS class that you'll have as a freshman, you will potentially be taking this U-Science assessment, and it does your skills, your aptitudes, your personality. It does a lot of different things that help match you to potential careers and majors. So we will use that and use Focus 2, depending on what you take and what you haven't taken, to kind of help you guys figure out your potential degree program. Okay, like the Chick-fil-A or Starbucks. So those on campus, I don't believe, let me think about this. I'm not sure if those are offered through our website. I know we have student workers that work in those positions. I believe they should be on our HR website. However, I'm not sure if Chick-fil-A and Starbucks oversee them in a different way, or if our student employment office still oversees them. I do not work in student employment, so that was one of those questions I don't quite know. If you would like to get a definite answer on it, you can email Kara Clark. Her email is kclark@westgeorgia or westga.edu, and she can answer that question for you. She is our Assistant Director of Student Employment. Any other questions? One last thing I will say is it'd be great if you guys do start getting involved with career services your freshman year. Freshman, sophomore year is really about us kind of helping you guys pick out that major and figuring out what you want to do. That way, by your sophomore year, you are set in your major. That way, you guys can complete your program in the 4 to 5 years that you want to complete it in. I will say, as you guys get past 30 credit hours and start working in those major programs, if you decide to change, say your junior or senior year, you're potentially looking at an extra year or two of school. So we try to help you guys avoid those things. So if you start working with us your freshman year, we can get you set with that. And then sophomore year, junior year is where we really want to see you guys working on those internship experiences or volunteer experiences that we'll help you with. And then senior year is when we're looking at getting you prepped for grad school, getting you prepped for the real workforce. So we hope to engage with you guys through all 4 years that you're here. So is there a significant pay difference between on-campus and off-campus jobs? Yes, there potentially could be. I will say, again, the on-campus positions are going to pay minimum wage a little bit more. If you go off-campus, there's a potential, depending on what field you go into or where you find a position, some of them might pay minimum wage, some of them might pay $8, $9, $10, $12 an hour, depending on what you can find and where you work. It's going to depend on where you go, though. There are plenty of food places, there's plenty of retail places, lots of different stores and things that are around the school and around the campus that you can go find jobs at. Anything else? If not, I will say goodbye for the day and hope you guys have a great weekend. And I hope to see you all here this summer for orientation and in the fall. Okay, thank you guys.